Alright, what's up guys? We've got the review on Ikoku Meiro. So, basically this story takes place in France, and a young Japanese girl is basically, is traveling with a French traveler who went to Japan, and then I guess he brings her here to France. Her name is Yune, and she comes to France to learn about their culture and to learn about the West. So, I guess Japanese culture is becoming more popular in the West, so is what they said in the summary, so I guess it has something to do with that later on in the series. But I think the first episode settled in pretty well. It reminded me of Hanasaku Iroha. I honestly don't know why, but the first episode felt like it. They took their time to settle in the anime. They didn't necessarily explain a lot of things, but it just felt like they took their time. And that's really how I felt the Hanasaku Iroha, the first episode, went. So it kind of reminded me of that, especially since they both go to new different places to live. So Yune basically, at the beginning, the viewers are told that she doesn't know how to speak English, so she only knows how to introduce herself. But Claude, who is basically the blonde-haired guy, who's basically the grandson of Oscar, who's the one who brought Yune over to France. So Yune is basically They told us that she didn't really know how to speak French, or didn't know how to communicate with anybody. But later on, about in the middle half of the episode, something happens between them where Yune ends up breaking something that was precious to Claude's father. It was like It was almost like some type of furniture or something his father made that was precious to him, and she ended up breaking it, and the different colors that were put up the glass fell off. So he ended up remaking it again, fixing it. But when she broke that, at that point you could tell that she kind of understood what he was saying, because he was yelling at her, telling her, she should go back. She doesn't know anything about the French people, and he doesn't know anything about the Japanese, so she should just go home. And the way she responded, saying, I'm sorry at the exact time and everything, it kind of gives you doubt. It gave me doubt that she knew how to speak France, and Oscar was just basically lying. And it turns out that she did know how to speak French, because she ended up communicating with Claude later on when she gave him her mother's kimono. Now she gave her mother's kimono because she broke the precious item that his father crafted or created. Now, they don't tell you if her mother's dead or not, because I don't necessarily see why it's so special if her mother's alive. So it kind of gives you the idea that maybe her mother's dead already, and that's why it's so precious to her. So he ends up selling it, and I think he misinterpreted what she meant when Yune gave it to him. He probably thought, alright, it's like a compensation and he'll go and sell it. I think what she meant was he should have it and just keep it and use it to decorate the place or something. He ended up going to sell it, and then his grandpa found out and asked him, what did you do with it? It's a precious memento. And he tells him he sold it. So he then vows to get it back because he finds out it's something precious from Yune's mom. So that's really what happened in the first episode. She kind of had a rough entrance, breaking something so precious to him. He didn't get that mad, honestly. I would have been a little more angry than he was. But I guess I guess he's not that. I guess maybe they made him not a character that could get that angry, because he didn't really necessarily react that mad at all when it came. He understood it. He said, I understand. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's from Japan. He understood that, but he didn't necessarily get that mad. So you can tell he's not that kind of character that would necessarily get really mad. And that's really about it. They end up talking to each other and vowing to work together and make the place better, I guess. So I think it's really cool. I think his first episode was really well done. Uh, what I want to know is how old she is, how old are, how old Yune is, because uh, she doesn't necessarily look like she's in middle school. So we'll basically see when they tell us how old she is. But I mean, I guess I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, really wouldn't be surprised if she's in middle school. So that's really about it, guys. So thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe. Thanks a lot. See you at the next episode.